everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on YouTube. Want to welcome you to the May 7th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show. This is our new time slot, 9 to midnight right here on YouTube. If I go into midnight, I will be on the Oldies and More stream. I guess I could still broadcast on there, but we will do that. We did that anyway, and I will see if I go that far. Maybe I'm not. Tonight I don't expect to, but I might. You never know. But welcome to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Johnny G is now officially retired. Still tired from yesterday, but I am officially retired, and that is why I can do the show an hour earlier. So sit back for the next 3 hours. Got some cool 45s out of my collection, lots of requests too. But we opened up tonight with at the time, we should say, with this release in March of 1954, 19-year-old tenor saxophonist from Kansas City, Missouri, on Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label. His name is Charlie Singleton. Charlie Singleton and the All-Stars, from May 1954. A song he wrote came out on the Atlas label out of New York City. It's called Pony Express. So hop on the Vinyl Treasure Pony Express as we open up the vocal portion here, and we open up with a request for Kenny Mack, a song that I first heard on the Gus Gossard Show sometime in the early 1970s. The group is out of the Bronx, New York, and this is the first Puerto Rican vocal group to appear on any national chart. Now, this charted number 84 on Cashbox, 78 on Billboard, and was a number 19 record here in New York City on WMGM, and it's the debut single for the Eternals. It features Charlie Girona on lead. We open up from April 59, the Eternals. This is for Kenny Mack on the Hollywood label. It's called Rockin' in the Jungle for Kenny.
Boom, 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 dancing everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Ding, ding, dong.
dancing, yes and gay. Cheetah Boy and Tarzan, Eve and Jane, swinging from the trees with a jungle harmony, rocking till the morning with his bass beat. Ding ding da, ding ding da, ding ding da. There comes boy singing a song, and Cheetah listening says it's kinda slow. Cheetah turns and says, hey boy,
Give me rocky stuff, man, that kinda makes me go.
they all dance together, rocking through the night. Ding ding da, ding ding da, ding ding da.
Yeah, we open up the vocal portion there with the Eternals. The Eternals, that's their debut single, April 1959. It's on the Hollywood record label. For you collectors out there, the White label is the first press on that release. The Rockin' in the Jungle is the name of the tune. Charlie Girona, the lead singer on that one. I got to thank everyone for the greetings on Facebook for my retirement. Thank you all. Really, it is overwhelming, all the greetings that I received from people in my working career and friends and family. And I just went into Newark, New Jersey yesterday to drop off my PC and some files and whatnot, and there were a few people. They drove into the city. They drove into Newark, New Jersey, and a couple people couldn't make it, but it was it was a small get-together, and I'm going to miss the interactions with the people, although I was getting used to working from home on the PC, but time to change, time to turn the chapter, time to go through the duplicates and triplicates that I have in my collection. Yes, but let's continue here. And we start off with two up-tempo tunes. Now, last week, I played a request for Timothy. He requested the Heartbeats, their second of four on George Gollner's Rama record label. It was called I Won't Be the Fool Anymore. And it was Darrell Letts, and I think Nick Nicola asked if I could play the flip side of that 45, which is a pretty cool jump. The Heartbeats, not really known for their up-tempo tunes, but this is a pretty good one, written by the lead singer. That would be James Shepard. This is for Nick and Darrell, February 57. These are the Heartbeats on the Rama label. I have it on a white promo here. It's called Wedding Bells.
Bad boom boom, hear those wedding bells, hear those wedding bells. Those wedding bells ringing in my heart, ring out the story how we first met our start. When we first met, I never will forget. Those words you whispered, I still remember yet. Said you'll always love me until the day I die. There never will be no secret that you would try to hide. And when you told the preacher those magic words I knew, and then you grasped my hand and said that I love you. Those wedding bells fill my heart with joy, and I hope that he above will bless our little boy. I never will forget. Those words you whispered, I still remember yet. Said you'll always love me until the day I die. There never will be no secrets that you would try to hide. And when you told the preacher those magic words I do, and then you grasped my hand and said that I love you, those wedding bells fill my heart with joy, and I hope that he above will bless my little boy.
I almost want to say that doesn't sound like a heartbeat's a song, not with that sax break in there like that. No, really, that's a cool record there. That's going out to Darryl Letts, the Heartbeats there, James Shepard and the Heartbeats on the Rama label, February 57 release, song entitled Wedding Bells. I was going to play another fast wedding song like the Fantastics record, but then I said, no, that could be for actually a theme show of weddings, possibly. But anyway, we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition, and let's open up here from October of 1953, and this is for listener Joe Shacatano. Feel better, Joe. Joe's under the weather this evening, but if he's not tuned in live, he will be tuned into the archive tomorrow afternoon. So this is by request for Joe Shacatano. It's Billy Ward and the Dominoes, but instead of this one being on the federal label, Sid Nathan's federal label, this one came out on the King label, like actually the King Pop series, numbering series, which I think was the 1000 series. And the reason, I think the reason that this happened was because it's a cover of a pop song done by a pop artist, Tony Bennett. At least Marvin Goldberg at least agrees with that. But he thinks that's the reason why that this record came out on King, and it features Jackie Wilson on lead. And this was a big R&B hit too for the group. This was a number 2 R&B Billboard hit for Billy Ward and the Dominoes. It's going out to Joe Shacatano, October 53. This is on the King label, the Maroon label. Billy Ward and his Dominoes and their rendition of the tune Rags to Riches. Jackie Wilson, the lead.
I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. And though my pocket may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered, but in my heart I'd be a king. Your love is all that ever mattered. You're everything. So open your arms and you'll open the door to all the treasures that I'm hoping for. Hold me and kiss me and tell me you're mine evermore. Must I forever stay a beggar whose golden dream will not
As going out to Joe Shacatano there, Billy Ward and the Dominoes, Jackie Wilson, the voice of Jackie Wilson there. October 1953 release on the King record banner, their rendition of the tune Rags to Riches. Well, I don't know about that going from rags to riches. Maybe it's from riches to rags, as there's not going to be any money coming in yet. You know, I'm not 65 yet. This is like an early retirement. Not that I need the money. Maybe I'll be selling off some expensive 45s. You never know. But I'm fine for now, and I planned it this way. So I still have a few months to go before I'm 65, but it'll be here sooner than you know it. That is for sure. But let's continue here. Let's stay in 1953 with a tune by the Ravens. Now, they were first recorded for the Hub record label back in 1946, but they signed with Mercury in 1951, and their first release for Mercury, they were actually a backup group. They backed up Dinah Washington on Out in the Cold Again, and also the flip side of that record too, by the way. But here's their 9th release, co-written by the lead singer, and that is Jimmy Ricks. This is from August 1953. Jimmy Ricks and the Ravens on the Mercury label. The song is called Who'll Be the Fool, parentheses, from now on. The Ravens.
Oh, you wanted love, well, I gave you all that I had. But how could you love me, baby, and treat me so bad? Now that your new romance has flown, tell me who'll be the fool from now on. I tried to be true, I tried to be fair. 'Twas easy to see that you didn't care. Now that your dream of love has gone, tell me who'll be the fool from now on. If I only knew then all the things that I know now, you'd have never had the chance to laugh at my love and drag my heart around. For playing with fire, I guess I had to get burned. I paid with my tears, but darling, I had to learn. Now that you blue and all alone, tell me who'll be the fool from now on. If I only knew then all the things that I know now, you'd have never had the chance to laugh at my love and drag my heart around. For playing with fire, I guess I had to get burned. I wasted my tears, but darling, I had to learn. Now that you're blue and all alone, tell me who'll be the fool from now on, darling. Who'll be the fool from now on?
Those Jimmy Ricks and the Ravens there on the Mercury record label, August 1953 release. Who'll be the fool from now on? It won't be Johnny G now that I'm retired. I don't know, maybe I would be a fool, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Somebody typed on my Facebook wall, well, Johnny, sometimes you're busier more. You're more busier, or there you will be busier when you are retired versus working, because at least when you're working, you know what you have to do. I got so many things that I have to do, and one of them is playing 45s. For you, the Vinyl Treasure listeners, let's continue here. We go into 1954 now. Now, last week I played a request for Daniel Kubacki by the Sultans on Don Roby's Duke record label, their second of four, called Baby Don't Put Me Down, and that side featured Eugene McDaniels on lead. Yes, the same Eugene McDaniels who did 100 Pounds of Clay. Now, Daniel also requested the flip side, but the flip side, a different lead singer. His name is Willie Barnes. Willie Barnes on lead. So this is going out to Daniel. He's in our YouTube chat room. August 1954. These are the Sultans on the Duke label. This is for Daniel. I need a better copy of this, though. It's called I Cried My Heart Out. This is for Daniel.
I cried my heart out for you. I almost died when you told me we were through. I sigh whenever I hear your name. You lied, and you told me you were my flame. Someday, sweetheart, you'll miss me so, and baby, then you'll see, you'll cry your heart out for me. Without you, dear, I almost died when you told me we were through. I sigh whenever I hear your name. You lied, and you told me you were my flame. Someday, sweetheart, you miss me so, and baby, then you'll see, you'll cry your heart out for me.
That's by request for Daniel Kubacki, the Sultans on Don Roby's Duke record label out of Houston, Texas, August 1954. Willie Barnes, the lead singer on that one. I Cried My Heart Out is the name of that tune. And, of course, this Sultans group, they would change their name to the Admirals, and they recorded on the King record label. They have two great records on the King label. Let's continue here in 1954. Now, last week I featured the Charmers on the Timely label, their first of two, song entitled I Was Wrong, and it was listener Big Dave Swinger asked Johnny G if I would play the flip side of this 45, and I decided to do it now. In the late 1940s and early 50s, the Mambo had become a dance craze in the United States, and thanks to musicians like Perez Prado and Tito Puente and Tito Rodriguez and others, the Mambo dance was pretty big. And there were a couple of, I know George Goldner, he had the Tico record label. He was really into Mambo music, had a Latino wife, and he liked the sound of the Mambo here. And vocal groups, they tried to capitalize on that too, as is the case with the Charmers, by request for Big Dave Swinger. It features Eugene Sonny Cook on lead. This is from October 1954. I had to change the needle on this. If you have this 45, you have to play it with a 78 needle. The 78 sounds fantastic if you have the Flexi disc, the Flexi promo disc, which I do have. It sounds great, so phenomenal. 45s, not so great, but they do sound better with a 78 needle. This is for Big Dave Swinger, October 54, the Charmers on the Timely label. It's called The Mambo. We ain't gonna do that. I don't back cue these records either, by the way. Scratching my records here. Hold on. There we go.
There's a dance that they do, and this dance, oh, you do too. First you swing, then you swing, then you shake that away. The Mambo, do it all the time. The Mambo, it is so divine. The Mambo, makes you lose your mind. Mambo. Oh, your body, moves with me. Sweet baby, sure can tease. Make me shiver, make me shake, work me and goodness sake. Mamacita! Vaya! Ole! Arriba! Vaya! Mambo! No! Let's dance mambo. Stand your chair. Lights down low on the mambo kick. When you do it, then you know that you're doing the Mambo.
There you go, hissing all there. Although it doesn't sound that bad. You see, it was actually that 78 needle is wider there at the tip, so it was floating on the top of that record, which it made it sound better. You see, it did. It wasn't really that bad, but there you go. That's for Big Dave Swinger there. Those are the whoops. I'm gonna shut that off. Those are the Charmers. The Charmers on the Timely label, October 1954. That's the flip side of I Was Wrong, song entitled The Mambo, and their second release only on a 78, unfortunately. But you can get the Ratio boot on that, which doesn't sound the greatest, but you can get it. Yes, you can. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show, and we go back to this time Baltimore, Maryland, for Ernie Warren and the Cardinals. And this is a request for Joe Shacatano. This is their 6th of 12 releases for the folks at Atlantic Records. Now, this was recorded in October of 1951, but not released until April of 1954. Here are the great Cardinals with the great Ernie Warren on lead. This is going out to Joe, April 54. On Atlantic, the Cardinals with Under a Blanket of Blue.
Under a blanket of blue, just you and I.
wrapped in the arms of sweet romance. The night is out under a blanket of blue. Let me be thrilled by all your charms, darling. I know my heart will dance within your arms. A summer night's magic enthralling me so. The night would be tragic if you weren't here to share it, my dear. Covered with heaven above, let's dream a dream of love for two, wrapped in the arms of sweet romance, under a blanket of blue. The summer night's magic
enthralling me so.
The night would be tragic if you weren't here to share it, my dear. Covered with heaven above, let's dream a dream of love for two, wrapped in the arms of sweet romance, under a blanket of blue, under a blanket of blue.
That's Ernie Warren and the Cardinals there by request for Joe Shacatano, April 54 release on the Yellow Atlantic label, the Cardinals with Under a Blanket of Blue. Johnny G's in a blue shirt tonight. That's the closest thing I'm going to be to a blanket, but let's continue here. Let's move into 1955. We head to Detroit, Michigan. That's Darrell's area there, and this group initially recorded as the Serenaders, but then in 1955 they added a new lead singer. His name was Willie Jones, and they signed with Atlantic Records, and they're called the Royal Jokers, and this was their first of three released on the Atlantic subsidiary Atco Records. And I had Norm's clean copy here, Brian. I couldn't find it, so this is my old copy. It's got a little bit of surface noise to it, not much, gets better, but it's from September 55. Let's give a listen to the Royal Jokers. Willie Jones on lead with the Royal Jokers on the Atco label. It's called You Tickle Me, Baby.
You know what?
What?
You tickle me, baby. You tickle me, baby. You tickle me, honey. And I don't mean maybe. You tickle me, baby, when you try and tell me what to do. You must be crazy. You must be crazy. You got to be crazy. And I don't mean maybe. You tickle me, baby, when you try and tell me what to do.
Well, ain't nothing you've done been right. You stay out late at night. You know you do me wrong, so you can't be here long. You may as well confess, 'cause you know I've done my best. Well, stay away from me. No, you'll cry and cry,
tickle me, baby. You tickle me, baby. You tickle me, honey. And I don't mean maybe. You tickle me, baby, when you try and tell me what to do.
Well, ain't nothing you done been right. You stay out late at night. You know you do me wrong, so you can't be long. You may as well confess, 'cause you know I've done my best. Well, stay away from me. You're crying, I can see. Your tears don't mean a thing, 'cause you know you are to blame. Yes, you lost your chance when you tried to tell me what to do.
Those are the Royal Jokers. Royal Jokers there, September 1955. That's their first of three on the Atco label. You Tickle Me Baby is the name of the tune. Willie Jones on lead. That didn't play that bad, but I have a nice I had to upgrade a lot of my Royal Jokers 45s through the years. I mean, I've been used to find them at a lot of the record shows. Sometimes you find these records, sometimes they're beat up, but you're able to pick them up. It takes a while to find sometimes clean stock copies of these records. Lord knows I've been collecting since the 70s, but let's continue here. We are in 1955. We got a request here for listener Emnon. This is on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. Now, this group is called the Californians, recording on a label out of Cincinnati, Ohio. But that's because Johnny Otis had a connection with Sid Nathan and the Federal record label, and he co-wrote this song. And according to Louis Silvani, this group included members of the Tenderfoots, and the lead singer on this is supposedly Harold Lewis, and an added member to this group is Jesse Belvin, because you definitely can hear him on the bridge of this in the bridge of the song on this 45. So this is from July 1955. These are the Californians. The Californians on the Federal label, going out to Emnon. The song is called My Angel.
My angel has gone away. My angel in heaven, I know she will return someday. I hope and pray. My angel in a love land for two, will the skies be blue? I know she'll be true. My angel has gone away. I know she'll return someday. And when she does, I'll love her day and night. My angel in heaven, I know she'll return someday. I hope and pray.
Johnny G breaking records. I dropped this Ravens record. Thank goodness it's not an expensive record, that is for sure, as I get too careful sometimes, as I do. But anyway, those are the Californians going out to Amnon, July 1955 release there on the Federal Record banner, song entitled My Angel. Now, that record I dropped is another Ravens 45, as we feature Jimmy Ricks and the Ravens on the Mercury label from August 53, Who'll Be the Fool. Let's move up 2 years. After leaving Mercury, they signed with Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label, and this is a request for Daniel Kubacki. This is their second of 4 on Jubilee. This was a big hit for them. This was, well, I wouldn't say a national hit. This was a big number 2 record on WHB in Kansas City, Missouri. And to me, it sounds like Jimmy Ricks, the lead singer, has a deeper sounding voice on this release. It sounds deeper than the one I played earlier. This is from April 55. These are the Ravens going out to Daniel on the Jubilee label, their tune called Green Eyes. Listen to how deep Jimmy is on this.
Well, green eyes, your eyes that promise sweet nights, bring to my soul a longing, will a thirst for love divine. In dreams I seem to hold you, will to find you and enfold you. Our lips meet and our hearts too, with a thrill so sublime. Those cool and limpid green eyes, oh, pool wherein my love lies, so deep that in my searching for happiness I fear that they will ever haunt me. All through my life they'll taunt me, but will they ever want me? Green eyes make my dreams come true.
Green eyes, your eyes that promise sweet nights, bring to my soul a longing, a thirst for love divine. In dreams I seem to hold you, to find you and to fold you. Our lips beat and our hearts too, with a thrill so sublime.
Those cool and limpid green eyes will pool wherein my love lies, so deep that in my searching for happiness I fear that they will ever haunt me. All through my life they'll taunt me, but will they ever want me? Green eyes make my dreams come true. Well, baby, oh, I cried when I looked into your eyes.
That's by request for Daniel Kubacki, the Ravens there. Jimmy Ricks, the bass lead there. Sounded pretty good. April 55. Song entitled Green Eyes. That one there on Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label. For that one, we are in 1955. Up next, the debut single for this group from Dallas, Texas. They're called The Five Notes. This is on Leonard Chess's Chess record label. The tune co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Al TNT Braggs, who beginning in 1958, he went solo with releases on the Peacock record label, but he's doing lead right here with The Five Notes. We go back to December 1955, The Five Notes on the Chess label, a great two-sided 45. I think I have 3 copies of this record. These are The Five Notes on Chess. It's called Park Your Love.
Park your love in my window and tell me that you're mine. Park your love in my window and stop me from my crying. Guide your feet I'd be happy forevermore. You know that I love you and want you here in my arms. I'd put no one above you, so darling, please don't turn down my charm. Guide your feet to my door, dear, and knock upon my door. Put your love in my window. I'd be happy forevermore.
That's the great sound by the Five Notes. The Five Notes there with Al TNT Braggs on lead there. December 1955 release on the Chess record banner. Park Your Love is the name of the tune. They also recorded as the Five Stars on the Blues Boy Kingdom. First presses of that, they left the Five Stars out. They just left the band leader on that. So that's the first way for that record. And they also recorded as the Five Masks on the Jan label. Johnny G here at a new time slot starting at 9 o'clock. We're gonna end an hour earlier too. We do a little bit of overtime, but it's gonna be earlier. It's gonna be an hour earlier. So we are here. Johnny G's fully retired now, so I can start going through all these records and trying to find better copies of 45s. Like I need to find of this next one, but this is an interesting request for Timothy, who's in our YouTube chat room, and he's really just learning about the music. And he's finding out about these group harmony records, and he's come up with some pretty interesting requests. But this female singer, she's from Philadelphia, PA, and Timothy requested this one. I don't play too many hits here on the 50s and early 60s show, but really the first time I ever heard this record was on a compilation LP. My aunt, my late aunt, she was pretty big on buying compilation LPs. And she purchased, I think in 1962, on Original Sound, Volume 4 of Art Laboe's Oldies But Goodies series. And I think, and it was on that volume that I first heard this, but it came out, this was her sixth release on Bernie Lowe's Sound record label. This was a number 19 record on Billboard, so we got to consider this, on Cashbox. No, Billboard, number 6 record on Cashbox. We got to say this is a hit. And it was a big number 1 record on KLAC out in Los Angeles, California. And I recently played a cover version of this as done by Wanda Burt and the Crescendos. That's an expensive 45. I think Matey might have requested it. But this is the original version for this song requested by Timothy. And on some copies, it comes out as Teenage Prayer. In other copies, it comes out as A Teenage Prayer. And this one says Teenage Prayer on this one. And it's a rough copy too, November 55. Going out to Timothy. Gloria Mann on the Sound label. It's A Teenage Prayer.
My friends all know it, how I adore two angels what I do for him. He is the answer to a teenage prayer. He won't go steady, the crowd has told me, but I keep praying to have him hold me. Why won't he listen to a teenage prayer? I wait by the window at 7 and chill when my thrill passes by. His kiss could send me to heaven. Into his arms I could fly. My girlfriend Betty tells me he's lazy, but I know Betty loves him like crazy. He is the answer to a teenage prayer. Yes, he is the answer to a teenage prayer.
That's going out by request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room. November 1955, Gloria Mann on the Sound record label. Teenage Prayer is this copy, or A Teenage Prayer. You got to check your copy on that. I'm sure I got a mint copy somewhere in the no humidity basement. Let's continue here. We move into 1956. We go back to Detroit, to Devorah Brown's Fortune record label. And last week, I played Nolan Strong and his Diablos, a request for Amnon, their sixth release, song called You Are. But let's give a listen to the flip side before this one goes back down in the no humidity basement. I think this was the first release that instead of saying the Diablos featuring Nolan Strong, it was Nolan Strong and his Diablos. That was the first. This is the first release for that. I have this on the white promo, written by the lead singer, that being Nolan Strong. Go back to April 56. Nolan Strong and his Diablos on Fortune. It's called You're the Only Girl, Dolores.
You said you love me, and with me you wanna be, but I laughed in your face and walked away so carefree, not knowing someday that I'd have to say,
You're the only girl, Dolores, for me.
now that you're leaving, I realize that I was wrong.
Yeah.
Now that you're leaving, I feel so all alone. Give me a chance to save this romance.
You're the only girl, Dolores, for me.
I still remember how I laughed in your face and walked away with my head in the air. I had too much pride to turn around and let you see the tears in my eyes. Come, let me hold you and feel you so near. Come, let me kiss you to see just how it feels. These are a few things that would make my heart sing.
tears in my eyes. Come, let me hold you and feel you so near. Come, let me kiss you to see just how it feels. These are a few things that would make my heart sing.
You're the only girl, Dolores, for me. 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 You're the only girl for me.
That's the sound of Nolan Strong and the Diablos here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. April 1956, Fortune Records, the vaults of Fortune Records, Devorah Brown's label, You're the Only Girl, Dolores. Doesn't say for me. That's the flip side of You Are. Johnny G, you are listening to Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. We're here every Saturday night live on YouTube from 9 to midnight. So tell your friends about it. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You have to be signed in to YouTube, though, in order to do that. You can just drive by and watch, as 58 people are doing now, watching they're not signed in to YouTube, but they are tuned in as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And Amnon requested You Are, the flip side of that, last week, but he requested this tune here by this group from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they won a local high school talent contest and were granted an audition with Woody Hinderling's Bullseye record label, and the result was this 45, which charted number 2 both on WHOD and WILY, 2 Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania stations. And this one came out in January of 1956. It features Eddie Jackson on lead. This is by request for Amnon, the El Capris from January 56 on the Bullseye record label. It's called Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Wop for Amnon.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. Have you been to the island of the Caribbean with the girls wear shorts, the boys wear jeans? They haven't got an eye for the latest style. You should see the way they wear a smile. And when they gather around the fire, you will hear this song called Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. 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 And when they gather around the fire, you can hear this song called Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. If your baby's not treating you like she should, come to the island. It'll do you a world of good. Send her back pictures of fabulous girls, and she will treat you then like a new string of pearls. And when you gather around the fire, you will hear this song called Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. 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 And when you gather around the fire, you will hear this song called Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa wop, shimmy, shimmy, wop. So if you go to the islands, please look up me. I'll get you what you want from A to Z. I'll take you to the places where the fine girls dance. You
go. Those are the El Capris. El Capris there on the Bullseye record label. That one there going out to Amnon, January 56 release. Eddie Jackson on lead. Cool bongos there. And what is that? That clicking, is that on the wood there? They were, what was that thing that they were clicking there? You guys know what it is. That's Shimmy Shimmy Coco Wop, the name of the tune. Of course, the same group recorded the El Capris. They recorded on Phoebe Records, right? That's another great record that they do. Anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and we are 1956. And up next, a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy, and this one is just in time because tomorrow is Mother's Day, and let's wish all the mothers out there, all the mothers tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show, a happy Mother's Day for tomorrow, especially my mom, as we go to Harlem, New York for this group known as the Hurricanes. Initially, they recorded as the Toppers for the Jubilee label, but this is their fifth of seven, came out on Sid Nathan's King record label. It features James Brown on lead. No, not the James Brown that recorded for Federal. No, different James Brown. And this is by request for Tom, and we're going to dedicate this to all the mothers for Mother's Day. This one from July 56. I like this record a lot. The Hurricanes on King with Dear Mother.
A very sad mother was lying in the bed with a letter in her hand, and this is what it said. Dear mother, you are so very sweet. We think of you every hour and every day of the week. Day of the week. Dear mother, you said you didn't want her to marry. Oh, any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Well, mother, here's what I have to say. Yes, we married last night, and we knew you wouldn't stand the sun. We still love you so. Yes, we love you so, oh, very much. Oh, dear mother, you're welcome here forever. And we hope that you'll never be so selfish that way, and pray for us every day.
That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. We're going to send it out to the mothers for Mother's Day. Those are the Hurricanes. Hurricanes with James Brown on lead, July 1956. Sid Nathan's King record label, Dear Mother is the name of the tune. I have another Mother song coming up a little later here, but let's go back to Kansas City, Missouri. This is a request for Evan Blatt in our YouTube chat room. This group got together while they were in high school, and the 16-year-old lead singer at the time, this was May 1956, possessed this unusual, powerful voice. His name is James Gadson, and this is their second of two that came out on Sid Nathan's Federal record labels. This is going out to Evan, May 1956. Give a listen to The Carpets. The Carpets on the Federal label. It's called Lonely Me.
I am so lonely. That's why I sing the song of lonely nights that I used to say my only love was for you, and I really mean it too. I do. I really, really do. I still remember when you held me so tight, and I'm longing and sighing, hope I might have your warm, tender lips inside of me. Forgive me, I need your warm, tender power to help me get over this desperate hour. I love you so, and want you to know that I'll never, 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 never let you go. I still remember when you held me so tight, and I'm longing and sighing, hope I might have your warm, tender lips inside of me. Forgive me, I need your warm, tender power to help me get over this desperate hour. Ooh, I love you so, and want you to know that I'll never, 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 never let you go. I still remember when I held you so tight, and I'm longing and sighing, hope I might have your warm, tender lips inside of me.
As by request for Evan Blatt there, those are the, I lost my place, those are the Carpets. That's their second of two on the Federal record banner, May 1956, Lonely Me. And the James Gadson, the lead singer, he wrote that song. Those lyrics, interesting lyrics there for a 16-year-old to write like that. I wish I could. I have a vivid imagination, but anyway. Now, James Gadson, he would later become the lead singer for a group called the Derbies that recorded on the KC record label. That's Nat King Cole's label, KC Records. So that's him on lead, the Derbies. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show for this group out of Roselle, New Jersey. This is their only release that came out on Joe Leibowitz's Premium record label, Premium Records out of Linden, New Jersey. Not many releases on the label, but when Joe Leibowitz had a massive heart attack, the label just went bankrupt. That was it. But the lead singer on this, her name is Marion Saunders. Marion Saunders on lead, August 1956. Give a listen to the Escorts. The song is called Sorry, the Escorts.
Sorry, sorry, I'm sorry. We had to part
can do to prove my love is all for you. Things might have been different
if I had seen your point of view. Well,
I made you love me.
then when I'll do a fool of you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I got you, babe. Forgive me, my darling. Please, please love me again. Please love me again.
August 56 release there for the Escorts. The Escorts, Marion Saunders on lead. Came out on the premium record label, song entitled Sorry. I already sold my dupe on that, but I did have a duplicate on that 45 as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here's one for Kenny Mack in our YouTube chat room, and this group was the very first successful vocal group to come out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. First recorded for Joe Auerbach's Phoebe Records, and also they licensed many of their releases to the Dot record label. But all the members were minors and decided to X out of their Phoebe contract to join Mercury, except one. One of them was 18 years old, and that was Crip Johnson. He ended up staying with Phoebe Records. That's why you see releases as Crip Johnson, the Dell Viking, because he had to stay behind. But the rest of the guys, they went to Mercury Records, and the group had 8 releases on the Mercury label. This was their first, and this charted number 6 on KQV in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It features Gus Backus on lead. This is going out to Kenny Mack, May 1957. The Dell Vikings on the Mercury label. It's called Jitterbug Mary. This is for Kenny.
Jitterbug, jitterbug, whoa, jitterbug Mary. That's what they call her, baby, Jitterbug Mary. Oh no, I don't, baby, Jitterbug Mary. And now she's changed to rock and roll. Rock and roll. Oh, Jitterbug Mary. Some people think she's crazy, Jitterbug Mary. She makes my brain so dizzy, Jitterbug Mary. And now she's changed to rock and roll. Rock and roll. Jitterbug is standing on a corner, doing what she wants to do. Jitterbug standing on a corner.
I bet you waiting for you.
Oh, Jitterbug Mary. Some people think she's crazy, Jitterbug Mary. She makes my brain so hazy, Jitterbug Mary. And now she's changed to rock and roll. Rock and roll. Jitterbug is standing on a corner, doing what she wants to do. Jitterbug is standing on a corner.
I bet you waiting for you.
Jitterbug Mary. Some people think she's crazy, Jitterbug Mary. She makes my brain so hazy, Jitterbug Mary. And now she's changed to rock and roll. And now she's changed to rock and roll. And now she's changed to rock and roll.
Now she turns to rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
May 1957 release there on the Mercury record label for the Dell Vikings. That's their first release on Mercury. That's going out to Kenny Mack. Jitterbug Mary is the name of the tune. Gus Backus on lead. Daryl mentions the flip side. The flip side, that Cool Shake, I think, was their biggest national hit on the Billboard Hot 100, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's move on here on Vinyl Treasures. We got a couple more, three more in 1957, and this next one is a request from my number one California listener, and many of you know that is Matey Campboy. She requested this group out of Newark, New Jersey. I was just there, yes. Out of Newark, New Jersey. They had this lone release that came out on High Weiss's Old Town record label. We go back to August 1956 for the Ketones. The Ketones on Old Town Records. This is going out to Matey. It's called A Fool in Love.
There is always a fool in love. What's the matter, baby? What's the matter, dog? Have you found another? What you thinking of? Have you ever seen a fool? A fool in love. Don't you start a crying. Don't shed a tear. You don't have to worry. I will leave you, dear. Have you ever seen a fool? A fool in love. Well, baby, someday I'll change my ways and you'll have me once again. Because now, baby, I'm praying now that you come back and have me back again. Don't you start a crying. Don't shed a tear. You don't have to worry. I will leave you, dear. Have you ever seen a fool? A fool in love.
That's by request from Matey Campboy there. Those are the Ketones. The Ketones from August 1957 on the Old Town record label. A Fool in Love is the name of the tune. No, I can't, Kenny. Not on this show. I can't do it. I have too many requests. It will extend the show even longer. Can't do that. I just get enough to kind of like space it out as it is. So we'll play the flip side. Actually, I need the flip side of this is Seven Wonders of the World. I forget what the hard title. I need an upgrade of this record. I was never able to find a clean copy, and I need a clean copy of that hard one too. So if anybody has that as an extra, Johnny G willing to trade. I am, as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Well, that one's going out to Matey Campboy, by the way. But we are in 1957. Let's go to this next group known as the Ivories. Now, initially, the Ivories recorded for the Jaguar record label. Johnny Hicks was the lead singer of that group, but the group dissolved. He left the group, and the group broke up. And he left to join the Love Notes record for the Holiday record label, Danny Robinson's Holiday Records. Now, one of the Ivories group members, Johnny Earl Jackson, he was the baritone for the group. He wanted to form a new Ivories group. And he added his girlfriend, and she became the lead singer of the group. Her name is Ella Lewis, so she's on lead. The result was this release that came out on the Mercury label. We go back to Mercury Records. This one from November 1957, the Ivories on Mercury. It's called Me and You.
Oh well now me and you, ba-bum bum dum dum bum bum. Oh well now me and you, sweet little cutie cutie cute, ba-bum bum. Oh well now me and you, sweet little cutie cutie cute.
It didn't take long to realize that I was a victim of your eyes. You took advantage of me and things that you said, but confidentially it's gone to my head. Me and you, be together till the end of time. I will love you through the days and nights for the rest of my life.
There you go. So the Ivories. The Ivories there for November 1957. Ella Lewis, she's the lead singer, came out on the Mercury record banner. Me and You is the name of the tune. This group would eventually evolve into the Ivories. The Ivories that recorded for the Buzz record label. I have that record. Not in great shape, but I do. A copy, Don Folletti sold a copy on eBay for like over $2,000. I thought that was way, way too much, but somebody really wanted that record. And I only paid $60 for it's got a little bit of a crack around the label, but still I paid $60 for it. It plays okay. I could upgrade it, but not for that amount of money. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week on the Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Dells with their 7th release on Vivian Carter's VJ record label. It was called Time Makes You Change, and listener Daryl Letts asked if I could play the flip side, which is actually a wonderful ballad written by group members Marvin Jr. and Johnny Funches, and they're both singing lead on this one together in unison. This charted number 23 on WKBR out of Oakland, California. We go back to October 1957 for the Dells on the VJ label. This is for Daryl Letts. It's called Pain in My Heart.
There are pain in my heart. There are pain in my heart. 'Cause I never could forget your love, oh my love. Please come back, oh my love, please come back, and I'll never will I've been a fool for you, baby. There are pains in my heart. There are pains in my heart. 'Cause I never, never, never could forget your love. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. My love. Come back, 'cause I never, never, never will forget your love. I never, never, never will forget your love. I never, never, never your love.
That's the great sound of the Dells. That's going out to Darrell Letts. The Dells from October 57, VJ Records. Pain in My Heart is the name of the tune. Johnny G doesn't have a pain in my heart, although I got to exercise a little bit more now that I'm retired. That's got to get fit in the schedule so I don't get pains in my heart. Let's move into 1958 now. Here's a request for Evan Blatt. This is on Julius Dixon's Timely record label. Now, not the same label we heard earlier in the show by the Charmers, but this group is called the J-Tones. I'm pretty sure this is the same group that recorded for the Brunswick label and possibly the Cub label, but I would say they are all the same, but I didn't get to listen to that. Well, I have that Cub label, but I didn't listen to it. But anyway, this song, for you collectors out there, if you're looking for this 45, I think it's a pricey record, so it's not that easy to find, but you might be able to find the issue on Times Square Records. I think it comes out on green vinyl. I think that's the first way I had it. But the flip is different. You won't get the flip of this 45 on that Times Square release. But this is a hard record, and Evan, you requested it, the J-Tones from June 58 on Timely Records. It's called Oh Darlin'. No, yes, Oh Darling. Can't do that. Ah. There you
Oh darling, I love you. Oh darling, yes only you. Oh, can make my dreams come true. Yes, only you.
go. That one there for Evan Blatt, June 58 release, the J-Tones, the name of the group. Came out on the Timely record label owned by Julius Dixon. It really contributed so much to 1950s and even into the 1960s, believe it or not. Julius Dixon there, he wrote the tune. It's on his label, the J-Tones, song entitled Oh Darling. We continue here in 1958. Now, last week I featured Floyd White and the Uncredited Dealers on the TV record label, a label out of the Bay Area out in California. The song was called Hey Teresa, Take These Roses, and I think it was Nick Nicola and actually Timothy asked Johnny G to flip the 45 over, so we're going to send it out to Nick and Timothy. It's a great ballad. It was co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Floyd White, and I had to change the needle on this one because this record plays horrible with a 45 needle. Horrible, as some of them do from that Bay Area, whatever that pressing plant was. But anyway, November 58, Floyd White and the Uncredited Dealers on the TV, T-E-E-V-E-E record label. It's called Pains of Love.
Grab the pillow and hold it tight. Please come back. And in these pains of love, whoa, whoa, why did you leave me? Oh, why did you go?
That's by request for Nick Nicola and Timothy, and that one there, I don't know, that's Floyd White and the Uncredited Dealers, November 1958. It's on the TV record label. Pains of Love is the name of the tune. I think I have 2 copies of that record, so that may be one that may be in the cell box when I find it, but I think I have 2 of those. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in 1958. Up next, a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. He requested featured the Shields, and you know they had a big hit in 1958 called You Cheated. It was actually a cover. It was first done by the Slades on the Domino record label. Well, their follow-up is also a cover. The follow-up to You Cheated was also a cover, first done by the Youngsters on the Empire record label. But anyway, it features Frankie Irvin on lead. And for you collectors out there, the true first press of this came out on the Dot label. It was issued in October 1958 on Dot, and then Tender Records put it out later that December. In December, it came out on Tender, but it's always, I don't know why the Tender one goes for more, or it sells for more. I don't know. They both sound the same. I think sometimes the Dot plays even better. But anyway, this is for Daniel Kubacki, The Shields, from October 58 on the Dot label. The song is called I'm Sorry Now.
I'm sorry now for breaking my vow. Darling, please forgive and forget. I'll make it up somehow. I need you so much more than you know. Won't you please give me one more chance? I'll never let you go. I'm sorry if I made you cry over me. I'm sorry if I broke your heart. I know I was wrong, and now I can see that I was to blame from the start. I promise you, from now on I'll be true. Darling, say you still want me, and then you'll never be sorry again. Never again. No, never again.
That's a great West Coast sound there by request for Daniel Kubacki, The Shields, Frankie Irvin, and The Shields there, October 1958. That's the follow-up of You Cheated, a song entitled I'm Sorry Now. Played it on the Dot label. I showed you that Tender release. That's a nice mint copy. I should see how that plays. Now we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Let's continue here. Johnny G losing his voice a little bit. That's from Walking in the Rain, and not with the Ronettes yesterday in Newark. Anyway, on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I played a request for listener Mnon. It was by Johnny Reed, R-E-E-D, Johnny Reed on the major label. It was a cover of the Heartbeats tune, 1,000 Miles Away. Now, the flip side, I think, is the better side in my opinion. But books claim that this singer is the ex-bass of the Orioles. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's right. They just noticed that he has the same name. I think that is not correct. But anyway, I like this record here. I don't know if there's a group on this or not. I don't recall, but I knew it was the better side. It's from 58. His name is Johnny Reed. This is on the major label, M-A-J-O-R, and the song is called Promises.
That you forsake all love till death do us part. Now here I stand, I'm just a lonely man with tears in my heart. was I wrong? 'Cause here I stand, I'm just a lonely man, with tears in my heart. Promises, oh yes, promises still live in my heart. In my heart.
There you go. Pretty nice sound there by Johnny Reed and a group. That's on the major label 1958 release, song entitled Promises. Johnny G making promises tonight, spinning original vinyl 45s. Hope you're digging on the tune. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Click the bell to get notifications. We're here till midnight tonight as we continue here. We go back to Los Angeles, California with a request for Joe Shacatano. And when the Penguins realized they were being swindled by Dootsy Williams and their royalty payments for their monster hit of Earth Angel, they left the label to sign with Mercury Records, who were to release 8 singles in a year, I think. It was 1 year. Was it a year? Almost a little over a year, possibly. But that did not happen. Wait, they released 8 No, what did I say there? 8 singles, I said. But no, I take it back. Mercury was supposed to release 8 singles by the group in a year, but when that didn't happen, the group left the label. That's what I meant. And they went back to Dootsy Williams on October 14th of 1957. They re-signed. It's like going back to your employer. I guess that would be like me retiring and then saying, you know what, I don't like it, I want to go back to work. I don't know. That's probably Slim and none, and Slim left town, so that ain't gonna happen. But they signed back with Dootsy Williams with his Duto record label for 4 more singles. This was their first, and it features Cleve Duncan on lead. This is by request for Joe Shacatano. I just saw that Tony Allen wrote this record. It's from January 58. These are the Penguins on Duto. It's called Let Me Make Up Your Mind. This is for Joe.
Let me make up your mind. You've taken too much time. It seems you're confused of the love you must choose. Let me prove to you that my love is true. You've taken too much time. Let me make up your mind. Make up your mind. There are 30 days in a month, 7 days in a week. How long must it take you to see that you were meant for me? Let me make up your mind. It seems your heart is blind. You've taken too much time. Let me make up your mind. Make up your mind. 30 days. There are 30 days in a month. 7 days me make up your mind. It seems your heart is blind. You've taken too much time. Let me make up your mind.
Make up your mind.
That's for Joe Shacatano, the Great Penguins there. Cleve Duncan on lead. January 58 release on the Duto label. Let Me Make Up Your Mind is the name of the tune. I have a nice mint promo of that. I might have 3 copies of that 45 also. I have to check, but I know I have a promo of that. I do. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We stay in 1958. We have another request, this time for Evan Blatt. Although I have no info on this group, they're called the Rhythmears. The Rhythm Ears, E-R-E-S, Rhythm and Ears, Rhythmears. And they have this one release that came out on the Brunswick label. And Harry Evans and Danny Taylor, probably members of the group, I'm not sure, wrote this song. It's from July 58, going out to Evan, the Rhythmears on Brunswick. It's called Elaine. Elaine for Evan. That's going out to Evan Blatt, the Rhythmears, their July 1958 release on the Brunswick record label, song entitled Elaine. Let's stay in 58, and I'm going to stretch the Mother's Day tunes again for this next tune. We're going to send it out to all the mothers out there for Mother's Day tomorrow. Let's hope it's a better day. Terrible, rainy, awful day here in New York City, but we heard the Hurricanes earlier in the show with Dear Mother. Let's go to the Bronx, New York, this time to Zell Sanders' scat record label for the Khalifs. These are the Khalifs from 1958. Flip side's a killer ballad. This is the up-tempo side. The Khalifs on scat going out to the mothers out there. The song is called Mother Dear.
Mother dear, I'm coming back home to you. It's because the one I love is not true. Now she got me where I don't know what to do. What to do. I can remember the first day we walked down the aisle. She looked at me and we began to smile. And all at once she cried it out loud. I love you, I love you, I love you. We promised to be true until the day we die. Then come to find out she told it to a lie. Mother dear, please won't you tell me why? Tell me why I'm coming home where I belong. I'm coming home where I belong. I'm coming home where I belong.
Those are the Khalifs. The Khalifs, they're going out to all the moms. Mother Dear is the name of the tune. 1958 release, came out on Zell Sanders' Scat, a record label. She also owned the J&S label. Lots of cool girl groups on that label, and male groups too, the Climbers, to name one. But let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. We are in 1958. Here's a request for Timothy. Timothy, you are requesting all these Rivieras records. And a couple weeks ago, Timothy requested the Rivieras out of Inglewood, New Jersey, their 5th of 9 on Coed, called Moonlight Cocktails, from May of 1960. But this week he requested the group's second release on the Coed record label, which this happens to be their biggest national hit. This was number 56 on Cashbox, 46 on Billboard, but a number 3 record on WCOP out of Boston, Massachusetts, and it's a cover song. This is a 1939 Glenn Miller tune. This features Homer Dunn on lead, December 58 release, going out to Timothy, the Rivieras on Coed. It's called Moonlight Serenade.
I stand at your gate, and the song that I sing in the moonlight, I stand and I wait for the touch of your hand in the June night. The roses are sighing, a moonlight serenade. The stars are aglow, and tonight how their light sets me dreaming. My love, do you know that the light in your eyes brightly beaming? I bring you and sing you a moonlight serenade. There
request for Timothy. Those are the Rivieras. Homer Dunn and the Rivieras. That's their second release on the Co-Ed label from December 58. Moonlight Serenade is the name of that tune. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I think this next song was inspired by a 1958 release that came out on Apollo Records by Solomon Burke. The song was called A Picture of You. So this is not exactly a cover, but it's very similar in some ways. Now, this is a group called the Elgins, and for which I have no information, but this same song, this Elgins cut, was also covered later in the year, December of 58, by the Dan Lears on the Mercury label. And I like this version a tad better. We go back to June 1958. Give a listen to the Elgins on MGM. Their tune is called A Picture of You.
I'm holding in my hand a picture of you, but I just can't understand why you said we are through. But as I gaze at your face, my heart beats tenderly. As I love you, then I try to understand why you said we are through. But as I gaze at your face, my heart beats tenderly. Well, you told me how you loved me, and our love will always be. Then when you left me for somebody new. Oh, you know that I want you to love me as I love you. Then I try to understand why you said we are through. But as I gaze at your face, my heart beats tenderly.
Well, baby, now my
heart beats so tenderly.
Sounds of 1958 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Elgins. The Elgins from June 58 on the MGM record label, A Picture of You, a 45 I got out of the radio station library of WPEP, a station out of Maine. And I went to the Connecticut record show in Waterbury, Connecticut. Jerry Smith walks in with all these records from that station. Of course, I piled all the boxes. I sat on some so nobody can look through. I used them as a seat, and then I was looking through the boxes, and I pulled out about $3,000 worth of records that day. So you never know what you're going to find at a record show, so you want to make sure you go there with deep pockets, as I always do. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Show. Maybe not much now that I'm retiring, so maybe I don't know how that's going to work out. But let's go to Philadelphia, PA now with a rare 45 on Hal Norton and William Gorgol's Norgold label. That's how they got the label from those two guys. Now, the group is named after a popular shoe style in the late 1950s. Does anybody out there own a pair of Daytons? I don't even know. Would they have a size 14 Dayton for Johnny G? Because I had a size 14. But anyway, I don't even know what a Dayton shoe looks like. I couldn't tell you. But there was a shoe from the 50s called a Dayton. Anyway, but this is a cool record. It features Salome Bay on lead. We go back to 1959. We are in 59 now for the Daytons. The Daytons on Norgold. It's called King of Broken Hearts. Out of Philadelphia there. Those are the Daytons, 1959. Came out on Norgold Records. It's a rare 45, song entitled King of Broken Hearts. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we're going to stay in Philadelphia. This is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. It's by Lee Andrews, and no mention of the Hearts, but there is a group backing him up on this. This is on the Casino label. There's maybe it's a chorus backing him up on this. But again, out of Philadelphia, the Casino record label, this one released in July of 1959. Lee Andrews on Casino for Joe Shacatano. It's called I Wonder.
I wonder, do you love me the way you say you do? Are you just pretending? Please tell me, please say you that you really want me the way you say you do. But suppose you don't love me, then I wonder for the rest of my life. Wonder for the rest of my life.
That's going out to Joe Shacatano. That's Lee Andrews. Sounded like more than a chorus. Sounded like a group in the background there. July 59 release on the Casino Records. I Wonder is the name of the tune. That is a song that he wrote. And we are in 1959. And last week I played a request for listener Nick Nicola. He requested the Fabulous Fabuliers, a group out of Jacksonville, Florida. It was the intended B-side of their 45 on Angletone. It was called She Is the Girl for Me. And I think both Daryl and Nick asked me to play the flip side of this before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. Now, I think, in my opinion, this was an answer song to the Drifters' There Goes My Baby. I don't know why, it just I don't know, it reminds me of the Drifters' There Goes My Baby. But it features Willie Wilson on lead, and this song was played here in New York City on WABC in the fall of 1959. This is released September 59. The Fabulous Fabuliers on the Angletone label. This is for Daryl and Nick. The Fabulous Fabuliers with I Found My Baby.
Sweet 16, the world to me, I found my baby. I found my baby. My teeny weeny baby. Hey, I wanna know if she stay here, right by my side, and will she always be my guide?
Now you see how I could think that was an answer tune to the Drifters' There Goes My Baby. But anyway, there you go. The Fabulous Fabuliers going out to Nick Nicola and Daryl Letts. September 59 release. Angletone Records. I Found My Baby is the name of the tune. For you collectors out there, the true first press of that is on the darker, like blue-gray label, and it was released in 1960, sometime in 1960, on that like kind of lighter green Angletone label. As we continue here on the Vinyltreasure show, and we are in 1959. We go back out to Los Angeles, California, with this request for Kenny Mack. What are you asking me, Kenny Mack? And it's by Billy Storm and the Valiants. This came out on the Ensign record label, a subsidiary of Keen, I think Keen and Andex Records. They kind of used that one logo with all the numbering, the same numbering sequence there. But this was the very last release with the Valiants, a tune written by Billy Storm. This was recorded in February of 1958, but not released until June of 59. And Kenny, where are you getting these records? This is for Kenny Mack, June 59, Billy Storm and the Valiants on the Ensign label. It's called We Knew.
When our eyes first met, our hearts stepped in, and we knew. Friends said a week or two they'll be through, but we knew. Mother and the father, for they knew. I'm sure they both knew. When our eyes first met, our hearts stepped in, and we knew. Father, for they knew we were in love, and they knew. So we'll tell all our friends who are blind to what love is. It only goes to show takes two in love to know, two in love to know, and we
As Billy Storm and the Valiants, a tune he wrote, that's by request for Kenny Mack. June 59 release on the Ensign record label. We Knew is the name of the tune. I have that on a promo also. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell my... If I have, because I have multiple copies of records, and I don't consider a promos and stocks multiple, although certain collectors only keep one. They probably, if the promo's on vinyl, they'll get rid of the styrene. I haven't decided yet what I would do, but I have lots of duplicates like that, and I really haven't made that choice yet. Maybe I would let them go if somebody made me an offer I couldn't refuse, as I could drool over, as Kenny mentioned in the chat room. And speaking of Kenny Mack, last week I played a request for him by the Videls, a group out of Providence, Rhode Island, featured their debut single, came out on Ruby Zeidman's Roadie record label, which was out of Warwick, Rhode Island. The song was called Place in My Heart, and I think Daryl Letts asked for the flip, and actually a listener from a while back, kind of concerned I haven't heard from Eddie in New Zealand. Eddie Brown in New Zealand, he once asked me to play this record. I didn't play it, but I had his name on it. Charlene had his name on the list there. So I hope Eddie is doing okay. Maybe he's been tuning into the archive. I don't know, but he used to come in a lot. So if anybody knows anything about Eddie Brown, let Johnny G know. But they requested the flip side of this. So we're going to send this one out to Daryl and Eddie. Peter Andrioli, he's the lead singer on this. This was also released as a reissue on the Medieval label, but this originally came out in March '59. The Videls on the Roadie label. It's called Be My Girl.
I love you, darling. I love you so. Don't ever leave me. I'll never let you go. Oh, my darling, be my girl, be my girl, be my girl. I love you, honey. I want you for my own. Oh, my baby, don't leave me here alone. Oh, my honey, be my girl, be my girl, oh, my girl. I need you, baby, here by my side. I'll never let you out of my sight. Oh, you know how I love you so. Never, never, ever, ever let you go. My darling, I love you so. Don't ever leave me. I'll never let you go. Oh, my darling, be my girl, be my girl, oh, my girl. Woo! I need you, baby, here by my side. I'll never let you out of my sight. Oh, you know how I love you so. Never, never, ever, ever let you go. My love you, darling, I love you so. Don't ever leave me. I'll never let you go. Oh, my darling, be my girl, be my girl.
That's going out to Eddie from New Zealand and Daryl Letts, the Videls. Peter Andrioli on lead, the Videls out of Providence, Rhode Island, March '59, release on the Roadie label. Be My Girl is the name of the tune. Let's move into 1960 now with a request from my number one California listener, Mady Campboy. The group is originally out of Washington, D.C., but their early releases came out on Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone Records, which was out of Philadelphia, and Mady requested the group's second of three for the V-Tone label. Now, this features Eugene Williams on lead. This one released in May of 1960. Let's give a listen to the Cruisers. These are the Cruisers on the V-Tone label. This is for Mady. It's called Crying Over You. This is for Mady.
To make all my
Yeah, we know they were listening to the Moonglows on that one there. Those are the Cruisers. Going out to Matey Campboy in our chat room there, May 1960, on Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone record label. Crying Over You is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in 1960. Here is a request for Tom Shaughnessy. Now, Tom, do you know anything about this artist? I'm asking you. I have the record. I know it's not a cheap record. I can tell you that much. But it came out on it came out on a label called Lee Harv Records. But the record is a mystery. Now the artist, his name is Adam Taylor, and the writer credits someone by the name of Adam Mencer, Mencer. So I wonder if they possibly are the same guy. But could be one, it could be not. But the other interesting fact about this 45 is that it was produced by Warren Schatz. Warren Schatz, a.k.a. Warren Schatzberg, who recorded in the actually I think he has records in the late 50s, but he also recorded in the 1960s as Richie Dean. He also recorded as The Warmest Spring on Parkway. He's another group on the Date record label, like in the mid-1960s. But this is an early production, and this must be his publishing company. So maybe this is him all the way around. I just couldn't find the data. I couldn't find it. Maybe if I looked a little more. But anyway, it's from 1960. Actually, Marvin Pod has it as 60. I had it at 61. If you look at this record again, it looks like it was pressed from on the Long Island. What's that? What is that pressing plant out in Long Island? And pressed up all those Shangri-La presses with the X's in it. That's Golden Crest, maybe, I think. But it uses like fake Columbia like numbers. They're not the real numbers. That's what somebody said on 45 Cat. But anyway, it's a rare 45. It's for Tom Shaughnessy. We'll call it 1960. Adam Taylor on Lee Harv. It's called Yvonne. This is for Tom Shaughnessy. There you go. That's for Tom Shaughnessy. That's a rare 45 by Adam Taylor and a group. Maybe it's Richie Dean for all I know. It could be. It sounds like him. It does if you know Richie Dean's voice. 1960, we'll say Yvonne, the name of the tune. It's on Lee Harv Records. And that's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We stay in 1960 with a request for Nick Nicola. This is a label out of Hollywood, California. This is the Ball record label. And this artist recorded as Billy Heinz. And this is a song that he wrote. This is the second of three. Now, this comes with an alternate flip. I don't know which one is harder. And I don't know what the flip side is on this one, but I like this side the best. And this is by request for Nick Nicola, August 1960. It's William A. Heinz and the Smith Sisters out of Hollywood, California on the Ball label. It's called Bring Back My Heart. This is for Nick.
Forgive me for making that mistake, dear. I want you forever, so please bring back your heart. Please love me forever and a day, so we can put the candle on our wedding cake. Now, darling, mistake, dear. I want you forever, so please bring back your heart. So please bring back your heart. So please bring back your heart.
As by request for Nick Nicola, a nice sound out of California. That's William A. Heinz and the Smith Sisters, August 1960 release on the Ball record label. Bring Back My Heart is the name of the tune. Let's continue here. Let's go to Brockton, Massachusetts for this next group. Actually, it's a twin spin for this group, but we're going to give a listen to their first release on Frank Pappalardo's Casablanca, Casablanca. Thinking of the movie. Casa Grande label out of Woburn, Massachusetts. This was their debut single. It features Big John Croft on lead. August 1960. These are the blends on Casa Grande. It's called Now It's Your Turn.
I love you, baby, since long ago. Now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love you, baby, until the day I die.
were sweet 16. Now it's your turn to be my teen queen. I love my baby until the day I die. I asked the stars above, who took my love? Now you've gone away. Won't you come back to me today? I love my baby since long ago. Now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love my baby until the day I die. Whoa. Since long ago, now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love my baby until the day I
Those are the blends. I got caught here, Sterling, but I got caught much later in the show, so you can't ridicule me. No, you can't. Those are the blends there. A Big John Croft on lead, the blends from August 1960. That's their debut single on the Casa Grande label. Now it's your turn. Now, how about a twin spin on the blends? Now, this second one here is a request for Matey Campboy, because they were very well known in the Brockton, Massachusetts area. They had a big following, and Frank Pappalardo, who owned this label, Casa Grande, put out a single by them in May of 1964, but they kind of changed their name a little bit. They changed it to Big John and the Fabulous Blends. And then I think there's even another release that came out like much later, like in 89 or something by them, because then unfortunately he passed away. There was a big write-up, I remember, when the lead singer here passed away. But I forget when I picked this up. At first, Charlene had 1961 because she checked on ASRA, that the website where I kind of get a lot of these releases. They have a lot of chart action. She said, Johnny, I looked at Casa Grande 5000. That was like September 61. But I somehow had 64. Marvin Pott, I think, had 64, and so did Ferdy Gonzalez. It just didn't sound like a 61 record, although it looks like a 61 record. But anyway, this is for Matey Campboy. I'm going to say it's May 64. Big John, it's actually Big John Croft, and the Fabulous Blends on this. I have it on red vinyl. It's called Hey Little Fool. This is for Matey.
Hey
That's going out to Matey Campboy, Big John Croft, and the Fabulous Blends on that one. I say released in May of '64. Casa Grande Records, Hey Little Fool is the name of that tune. I bought both those records, both the Casa Grandes, from Mike Michelle. Mike Michelle, he was from Boston, Massachusetts. He used to do a set sale list. He died at a fairly young age in his 40s, and I went to a record show in Connecticut. I think he showed up when they used to have record shows on Friday nights, and I showed up there with a bunch of guys local here. We drove up there, I don't know where in Connecticut, maybe Stamford, Connecticut somewhere, and I got on his mailing list, and he used to send out this set sale thing, and you had to send in the records that you wanted. They were all individually priced. I mean, I was buying records for $7 and $5 and $3 and $2. So you wrote the check for, $47, and then it was, $2.50 postage, and he would mail you back a check for the unused funds. That's how they used to do it back then, as being a young collector. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week, I played a request for Sugar Bear Sterling. He requested the True Tones, a group out of the Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland area. The song was called Blushing Bride, and then it was listener Darrell Letts asked Johnny G to flip it over. So let's flip it over here before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. This is on the Felsted record label as we move into 1961. These are the True Tones. The True Tones on Felsted, going out to Darrell. It's with Ronald Henderson on lead. It's called Singing Waters. Bum, 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 bum.
There's valleys where the lilacs bloom and the waterfall has an enchanting note called singing waters coming down the mountainside that glisten, bringing melodies of love to anyone who cares to listen. Singing waters sang a song of love for me the very day you came my way. That's where I'd like to live with you my whole life long. So well romance can be one beautiful sweet love song. Singing waters, tell the babbling brook I want the whole world to know I love her so. That's where I'd like to live with you my whole life long. So our romance can be one beautiful sweet love song. Singing water, tell the babbling brook I want the whole world to know I love her so.
That's for Darrell Letts. Those are the True Tones. True Tones there with Ronald Henderson on lead. That's the same group that recorded for the Monument label, by the way. June 61, the True Tones, their rendition of the tune Singing Waters on the Felsted record label. I think the Cashmeres also do this on Laurie. I don't know which one is first, though, as Johnny G didn't check it out. But let's check out this next 45. We go back to Philadelphia, PA, with a request for Nick Nicola. Now, after Van McCoy left the Starlighters recording for End Records, he started his own label. He called it the Rockin' Record Label, ROCK''N', Rockin' Records. And he also started managing a number of groups, and he continued with his writing and producing, and he wrote this next song. Now, Marvin, you said that he's on lead. I never saw that he was on lead, but I know he helped with this record, and he wrote it, and he was managing a bunch of groups at the time that were recording for the Rockin' record label. Now, he had a release on Rockin' Records himself, so I don't know why he would come out with, and maybe, is this the first one? No, this is actually 102. I think 100 is by him. So I think he's managing this group, but he wrote this song, and this is going out to Nick Nicola, 1961, The Twilighters, spelled Twilights, Twylights, The Twilights, on the Rockin' Records label. It's called Darling, Let's Fall in Love, requested by Nick. As by request for Nick Nicola there, the Twilights from 61 on Van McCoy's Rockin' Records. Darling, Let's Fall in Love is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1961 with this request for Emnon. We go back to Sid Nathan's King record label out of Cincinnati, Ohio, for Otis Williams and His Charms. Now, this is the group's 6th of 12 on the King record label. Of course, they have like 40 or more releases on Deluxe, but Emnon requested the side that to me doesn't really sound like, they're not sounding like Otis Williams and the Charms on this side. I think they're trying to sound like Hank Ballard and the Midnighters on this side. But I prefer the flip side of this, but let's listen to this. Let's see how close Otis Williams and the Charms comes to Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. The flip side is a song called So Can I. We're going to play that next week. But let's play this side for Emnon this week, February 61, Otis Williams and His Charms on King Records. It's called Little Turtle Dove. This is for Emnon.
You're so sweet, walking down the street. You're so fine, won't you be mine? Won't you
That's going out to listener Amnon there. They sounding like Hank Ballard and the Midnighters there, I'm telling you. That's Otis Williams and his Charms, February 61. Little Turtle Dove is the name of that one. Came out on the King record label. Let's stay in 61 with a request for Timothy. Timothy, where are you finding these songs here that you're requesting? We go back out to California. This group is from San Bernardino, California. They're called the Pentagons. This is a connection, California connection, with George Mottola, Lee Hazelwood, Lester Still, and the Jamie folks in Philadelphia. There was always a connection there, with lots of groups crossing over with their releases being on Philadelphia labels, and vice versa too, by the way. But the A-side of this is a song called I Wonder If Your Love Will Ever Belong to Me, which is a great record. And I also like the B-side myself. I think it's a cool tune, and it's a request for Timothy. I meant both sides of this are produced by Lester Sill. I said Still, it's Sill. Lester Sill, George Mottola, and Lee Silver. Now, Joe Jones Jr., he's the lead singer on this. This is the first of two on Jamie Records by the Pentagons. August 61, the Pentagons on Jamie. This is for Timothy. It's called She's Mine.
Searched so long, and now I have found her. Everything I own is just wrapped around her. She loves me, and only me I know. Many, many tears, much pretending. Looks like there will be a very happy ending. She loves me, and only me I know. Just two happy people alone and in love with each other. Two happy people. Oh, please, love, don't let it die. Just let me take your hand, and I'll be gentle. Thoughts of you will always be so sentimental. She loves me, and only me I know. She loves me, and only me I know.
As by request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room, the Pentagons, Joe Jones on lead, August 61, the first of two on the Jamie label, song entitled She's Mine. If I finish before 11:30, folks, I'll flip that over for Matey Campboy. If not, we'll play that next week. I said the same thing to Kenny in the chat room, but let's continue here. Let's stay out in California. We go to Los Angeles, California for this group called the Stars of Bethlehem, and they formed back in 1953. They were very popular in the Los Angeles area, but they never received the national exposure as did other gospel groups like the Soul Stirrers or the Pilgrim Travelers or the Five Blind Boys. But this 45 on Ensign, actually Ensign Records, we heard Billy Storm and the Valiants earlier. This is the same label, the division of Andex and Keen Records. This is on Ensign. This session engineer, his name is Dino Lapis. He got together with Gaynell Hodge, of course, of the Hollywood Flames and other groups, to record this. Now it features Richard Wallace on lead. This is Richard Wallace and the Stars of Bethlehem on Ensign Records. I think I have two of these also. This is January 61. It's called Nobody Knows.
I'm singing do you know that I'm almost there? Singing glory, glory, singing glory. I'm singing no, 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 singing glory. Oh, you get back to heaven. Tell all singing glory, glory, hallelujah, glory, sing glory, sing glory. I'm singing no, no, trouble that I see, no, no, trouble that I see, singing glory. I'm singing glory, make me feel alright. I'm singing glory.
January 61 release there. I think that's a cool record there by Richard Wallace and the Stars of Bethlehem. Came out on the Ensign record label out of Hollywood, California. It's called Nobody Knows. Nobody Knows, as we welcome in the Oldies and More radio network. Johnny G here in a little bit of overtime here. So you're catching the end part of the Vinyl Treasures show. And let's move into 1962 now. Now, on the April 23rd, 2022 Vinyl Treasures show, I played a request for Kenny Mack on Donald White's Don L record label, and it's out of Philadelphia. The group was called the Citations, and Kenny requested Kiss in the Night. But I also dig On the Flip Side. It was written by the lead singer of the group. His name is William Lucas Jr. This one from March of 62. Let's give a listen to the Citations on Don L Records. The name of the tune is It Hurts Me.
It hurts me, to see you leave. It hurts me, to see you grieve. Oh, darling, it hurts me so. Hurts me so.
Hurts me so.
They're called the Citations. The Citations there with William Lucas Jr. on lead. March 62 release. Don L. Records out of Philadelphia. It Hurts Me. Hopefully Johnny G not hurting you with these cool tunes here. And those of you tuned in on Oldies and More Radio and also live on YouTube. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it as we pick up more subscribers. Let's go to Englewood, New Jersey with this request for Nick Nicola. Don't know who this group is, but they're known as the Artistics, but they are not the same group out of Chicago that recorded for OK Records. Totally different group. This is on a on a label called S&G Records. Now, not an easy 45 to find. It's from November 62. These are the Artistics. This is for Nick on S&G. It's called Life Begins at 16.
The night we kissed, I felt my heart begin to dream, and suddenly to me it seemed life begins at 16. I know they say young love is just an idle scheme, but when you're in my arms, you see life begins at 16.
As by request for Nick Nicola there, those are the Artistics. It's on the S&G record label. The group is out of Englewood, New Jersey, November 1962 release. It's called Life Begins at 16. A lot of, not to crack a joke, but people are kind of debating that now. Does life begin at 16? I don't know if it does. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. Up next, a request for Evan Blatt, who went to bed, but he's going to tune in on the archive, as this group was discovered by the label owner as he was just driving around the corner of is it Tarentum, Pennsylvania? Anybody out there? Daryl, is that a place? Tarentum, Tarentum, Pennsylvania. Well, he was driving around the corner, and these guys were singing on the street corner. And he was the owner of Kiski Records. His name is Al Realgi, Reaigi, if I said it right. Now, he heard this group singing on the corner, and he signed them, and this release came out. I think this is the B-side of the record, though. And the tune written by the lead singer of the group, his name is Roland Hayden. Roland Hayden on lead. This is going out to Evan Blatt, February 62. These are the Alma Keys. The Alma Keys on Kiski. It's called Please Come Back to Me.
Someone said you found someone new, and I realized it can't be true. Tell me you'll never, ever let me go. Tell me you love me, and there's no one else. That you would come back to me. Oh, what a feeling it gave to me. Someone said you found someone new, and I realized it can't be true. Let me go. Tell me you love me, and there's no one else. Oh, darling, darling. Oh, please come back to me. Oh, please come back to me.
That's going out to Evan Blatt there. What a great tune that is. The Alma Keys, February 62 on the Kiski label. Roland Hayden, the lead singer. Please Come Back to Me is the name of the tune. The hit side, I think, local there was The Jumping Twist. I think that was it that Daryl mentions in the chat room there. Let's continue here. We're on the last page now, and we are in 1962. Here's a request for listener Mike Sape. We go back back to Detroit, Michigan, to the Danceland label, as this group had 2 releases on Danceland. This is their second release, and the lead singer on this, his name is Robert Willingham. Robert Willingham, but he recorded as Bobby Martin. This is from August 1962, going out to Mike Sape. These are the Martiniques. The Martiniques on Danceland. It's called Broken Hearted Me. For Mike.
Now when I was young, my mama said, son, careful from the very start. If you wanna be wise, pay no heed to her lies, or you'd surely get a broken heart. Now let me tell you about a broken-hearted lover, a broken-hearted fool who paid a big price, a joker who never ever took advice. Broken-hearted me, I said, poor broken-hearted me. And when I was young, my mama said, son, beware that gleam in her eyes. And when she smiles and says, you're the one for me, you'd better get set to fly. Now let me tell you about a broken-hearted lover, a broken-hearted fool with lots of dues to pay, a joker who never knew the time of day. Broken-hearted me, I said, poor broken-hearted me. Step right on your heart. Now let me tell you about a broken-hearted lover, a broken-hearted fool who paid a big price, a joker who never ever took advice. Broken-hearted me, I said, poor broken-hearted me. Girl, you broke my heart now.
Those are the Martiniques. Martiniques out of Detroit, Michigan, August 62. Their second of 2 on the Danceland record label. Broken Hearted Me is the name of that tune. Let's go back out to Los Angeles, California. Last week, I played a request for Tom Shaughnessy. The group was called The Wonders, came out on Lou Videls' Bamboo record label, and I featured the intended B-side for Tom called Please Don't Cry. But Daryl Letts requested the A-side, which charted regionally. This was a number 27 record on KCRG in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The lead singer on this is Don Thomas. Don Thomas, he also sang lead with the Cymbals that recorded for the Dore record label, but this is from August 62. Give a listen to The Wonders on the Bamboo label. This is the A-side. It's called With These Hands for Daryl.
With these hands I will cling to you. I'm yours for
search and love. Every little single day, oh, with these hands I will bring to you a tender love as warm as May. With this heart I will sing to you. Long after stars have lost their precious glow, with these hands I'll provide for you. Should there be a stormy sea, I'll turn the tide for you, and I'll never
with this heart, my love, I will sing to you. Long after stars have lost their glow.
That's for Darrell Letts, their great two-sided 45. I agree with Nick Nicola. The Wonders there, the Wonders from August 62 on the Bamboo record label. Don Thomas on lead. With These Hands is the name of the tune. Let's go to Plattsburgh, New York for this next 45. It's actually a request for Nick Nicola. This came out on the Rondak label. The group is called The Inspirations. I have no other information except that it came out in 1963. Let's give it a spin. The Inspirations from 63 on the Rondak label. It's called Ring Those Bells for Nick.
Ring, 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 ring those bells, ring those bells. I want to hear them ring, ring them loud, ring them clear. I want to hear them ring. Oh, what magical feeling! Oh, what magical things they do to me. To me. Ring those bells, ring those bells. They make you sing so near. Ring those bells, ring those bells. They're all I want to hear. Oh, what wonderful feeling. Oh, what fabulous things they make me feel. Make me feel. Ring, 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 ding, dong, dong, bong, ding, dong, dong, ring, 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 bong.
That's on the Rondak record label out of Plattsburgh, New York. That's going out to Nick Nicola, The Inspirations, 1963 release, Ring Those Bells. We're counting down here toward the end of the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to Brooklyn, New York. This is a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. This group first recorded as the Matadors on the Keith record label. Have two cool 45s on Keith Records, but later in 1963 they changed their name to the Toreadors. The Toreadors, with this release on the Midas label, which is out of New York City. This tune produced by Eddie Singleton. It features Harry Bass. I think that's how you say it. Harry Bass on lead. It's going out to Matey. This is from 63. The Toreadors on Midas. It's called Do You Remember Part 1.
Isn't that okay to all those in love? Do you remember? Do you remember? Well, here in my heart there's a story untold, and do you remember? Do you remember? Most of all, I need your warm embrace. Do you remember? Do you remember? Sincerely, oh, I love you so dear. Do you remember? And do you send me? And I know. Do you remember? I wanna know. Do you remember? You're kidding. You're lying. You're saying that you love me, and do you remember? You're 1,000 miles away. Need your love to remember. I wanna know. Do you remember? Got to give a little, take a little, and Earth angel, will you be mine? And I wanna know. Do you remember? Cherry now, cherry pie, yeah, cherry pie. Do you remember? I wanna know. Good night, my love. Pleasant dreams, and do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember now? Do you remember now?
Very similar to Little Caesar and the Romans, kind of oldies but goodies, but this one called Do You Remember? Those are the Toreadors, 1963. Harry Bass on lead by request for Matey Campboy. That's on the Midas record label. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here on, on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is on Bob Schechter's Scotty record label. It's a rare 45 requested by Nick Nicola. Nicola. This Bob Schechter also owned the Gateway label, but I know nothing about this group. They're called Harold and the Casuals. It's a song written and produced by Ed Bynum. So I was looking for this one to find some information, but I couldn't. But it's a great tune, and it's a hard tune to find from 1964. Harold and the Casuals. This is for Nick Nicola on the Scotty label. It's called Darling, Do You Love Me? Harold and the Casuals. Nice tune there by Harold and the Casuals, requested by Nick Nicola, 1964 on the Scotty record label. Darling, Do You Love Me is the name of the tune. 2 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back out to Los Angeles, California. This is a request from Mike Sape. This is on Leon Renee's Class label. It's by Richie Dixon and the Rosebuds. I think he has later releases as on Keyman and K-Ham and Jubilee. I think it's the same guy, but this charted regionally. This was number 49 on KFXM in San Bernardino, California. This one from March 63, Richie Dixon and the Rosebuds on Class Records. It's called Moonlight and Roses for Mike.
Memories of you. Moonlight and roses. Moonlight and roses. Moonlight and roses. Bring back our love anew. Moonlight and roses. Starlight discloses. Starlight discloses. A feeling that you want me to. Moonlight and roses will make our dreams
There you go. That's from Mike Sape there, Richie Dixon and the Rosebuds there. A song entitled A Moonlight and Roses. That's on the Class record label from March 1963. Let's give a listen to the flip side of this 45 because I think I might have liked the flip side of this record. It's called You Broke My Heart from March 63. This is a song that Richie Dixon wrote. I don't know if there's a group on it, but I think this was the side that I purchased it for. Let's give it a spin here.
Oh, you done me wrong. You broke my heart. You said you'd always love me and we'd never part. But you know I'm a fool and I'll fall in love no matter I played a losing game. I tried to love you. I should have known you'd never be true. But you know I'm a fool and I'll fall in love no matter what. Trusted in you, I thought that you were true, but it turned out all wrong. Oh, why couldn't I see that you didn't love me, that you were just leading me on? Oh, you broke my heart. You said goodbye. You walked out on me. That's why I cry. But you know I'm a fool and I'll fall in love no matter
So what did you think about that side? I think Matey likes that side, and so does Dave the Rave. He favors that side too. I like that side also, and I think that's what I bought the 45 for. But anyway, that's March 1963. Richie Dixon, no group on there, but still sounds pretty good. You Broke My Heart, that one there on Leon Renee's Class record label. Well, hopefully Johnny G didn't break your heart tonight, spending too much money on these 45s. Thank you all for tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are early tonight. We still are. Yeah, we're early. Well, you know, we always normally do like almost 4 hours, but it is earlier there. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Those of you watching Johnny G on the YouTube stream, and also those of you tuned in to Oldies and More Radio. I will be back here next Saturday night beginning at 9 o'clock, 9 to 11 p.m. here on YouTube. Also, we'll join the Oldies and More crowd after midnight. That's when the stream is available for Johnny G to scoot in there. If not, I'll see some of you Monday night, Monday at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 o'clock for the All 60s show. Feature lots of soul on that show. So if you're into soul music, you want to tune into that, and some other stuff too. So we do that, but mostly soul records out of my collection. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and want to wish everybody all the mothers out there, not everybody, but all the mothers out there, especially my mother, a very happy Mother's Day. My brother and sister-in-law, and I think my other sister, are coming up tomorrow, so I got to get my records out of the way. They are downstairs in the den where I was cleaning some 45s today, but I got to move that around. But they'll be in here tomorrow, and so everybody, all your mothers out there, have a great day tomorrow. Let's hope it's nice weather where you are. Our closer tonight, special closer tonight, that I always open up the Vinyl Treasure Show with an instrumental, and this might be the first time really in my history of doing, well, I don't know, from doing the entire show, but definitely doing the show on YouTube, that I'm closing the show with an instrumental, and it's pretty cool to do that. Who says you can't? I think you could. A lot of shows close with instrumentals, and we're going to close with an instrumental request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. This group is out of San Gabriel, California. They recorded for Eddie Davis's Pharaoh label out of Hollywood, California. Now, their debut single was a cover of a Don and Dewey song I'm sure many of you know, a song called Farmer John, which became a local hit for the group, and it was eventually picked up by Warner Brothers Records. I have it on both labels, but Warner Brothers distributed that song nationally. But Matey requested the flip side, the B-side of the 45, which features two saxophonists, Philip Ruiz and Joe Urza. They're playing saxophone on this flip side, and this was a record that my aunt loved. She really didn't care for Farmer John, but she loved this side. So, Matey, this is a great request. I'm featuring it on Warner Brothers. This is going out to my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, May 1964. These are the premieres on Pharaoh. It's called Duffy's Blues. Well, no blues for you tonight. Thank you all for tuning in again. Thank you again, Charlene, for all your help. Couldn't do it without you. Everybody have a safe and happy week, and I'll see you here next Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Mark your calendars. 9 o'clock. No, that's mark your time. 9 o'clock next Saturday night right here for Johnny G and the All 50s and Early 60s show. I'll see some of you Monday night at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Oldies and More Radio or right here on YouTube. Just want to say, everybody, so long for Matey. Okay, folks, that does it. Johnny G's beat. You know, this is a tight fit here, Dave the Rave. With the center hole here. There you go. This is the Warner Brothers press. I like this song. I remember when I found it at a flea market for 10 cents. There you go. Duffy's Blues. It's a B-side there. Great saxophone instrumental. That's it, folks. Johnny G's got to go relax because I have a splitting headache. Did a lot of walking yesterday. Wasn't used to the walking in Newark, New Jersey. But again, thank you all for the retirement well wishes. I really can't believe, like Monday, what am I going to do? I'm retired. Maybe I'll clean some 45s. I can do anything I want. Anything I want. All right, everybody, stay well. I'll see some of you Monday night, okay? If not, next Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Bye, everyone. Take care.